Hey guys, today's video I am going to go through two things, line of best fit and data involving time. The line of best fit is a straight line in a scatter plot that describes the pattern between the two variables. It's also referred to as regression. So what we're going to do is find the equation of that line. So to find the equation, first thing you got to do is draw a line. Not everyone's is going to be the same. What you need to do is try to draw in the middle of the scatter plots. Then we're going to have to pick 2 points. So I'm going to just pick 2, 2 and 10, 12. What's important is that you pick the points on the line, not individual points, but anywhere on the line. We're trying to find the equation of the line, so we have nothing to do with the points after we draw the line. And then we're going to use the linear equations formula, which you should have done last year. But if you don't remember, I'm going to go through that anyways. To find the equation of the line, first thing we're going to do is we are going to find the gradient. Now gradient m is y2 minus y1. Now that is the same as rise over run. So let's say I pick this point here, which is x2 and y2. This point is x1 and y1. We're using coordinates. y2 minus y1 gets us the height. y2 minus y1 gets the length. So essentially, we make a triangle. That's the y, that's the x, and we find the slope. So in this case, we got 12, 10, and 2 and 2. We subtract them, we get 4 over 5. Then we're going to pick one coordinate. So you can pick this coordinate or this coordinate. Let me get rid of that. And we're going to substitute it into this equation. So the gradient stays the same. I've used the first coordinate, 2 and 2, right here. And if you expand this out, 4 over 5 times x, 4 over 5 times 2, and then the minus 2 comes to the other side, becomes a plus 2. If you work it out, that should be the equation. Now, if you are doing advanced next year, you need to get used to doing this kind of stuff. If you're doing standard, next year we're going to do this as well, or actually year 12 we're going to do this, but we're going to use a calculator. So instead of drawing a line and trying to find the equation, we're going to get each point, put it into the calculator, and it's going to give us an equation. Okay, now we got interpolation and extrapolation. They're kind of the same thing. So essentially, once we get the equation, if we want to find a y value from the x value, so we are, I don't know if you can see this, but we got height and weight. Interpolation is when we find the height within the data set. So the highest is there, lowest is here. Let's say someone's 170 centimeters tall. That's interpolation because we use a line to find the weight. Extrapolation is outside the data set. So outside the largest, outside the smallest, and then we try to estimate. Now I'm going to go through question 1 from the set work. So we got the radius, we got the height, and there are 4 questions. First question, we have to plot the points. Now we should know how to do this. So the first point, 25.2, somewhere here, and 173, so the point should be somewhere here. And then if you keep going, should turn out like this. And then draw a construct a line of best fit. Now find the equation of the line of best fit. So pick 2 points along the line. I pick these 2 coordinates because it's already on here. As I said before, important thing is pick the points on the line, not the dots. Once we draw the line, we don't need to worry about the dots. Now secondly, we have to find the gradient, which is this equation. That's the coordinates. So y1, or x1, y1, x2, y2. Substitute the numbers in, and that's the number we get for the gradient. You will probably get a messy number. Don't worry too much about it. We've got calculators. Write the numbers down. You can use fractions, you can use decimals, whatever you find easier. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to find the equation with this equation. These are the 2 points. Substitute the numbers in. That's the gradient. I have used x1 and y1. You can use this one if you want. Pick the easier numbers. Now find the equation. You have to expand this out. Then move this number to here, switch the signs. I change this fraction to over 29 to get rid of the decimal. And then I've added these 2 together. As I said, they're silly numbers, but use your calculator. Let your calculator do the work for you. And this will be the final equation. Oh, and I have changed the numbers, or the letters around, because we're doing height and radius instead of x and y. As I said, everyone's answer will be a bit different because everyone's lines will be slightly different. Make sure you put your working out in, because that's what we actually base it on. We check the numbers are close to what we have as the answer, and then we look at your working out. Everyone's working out should be the same. Now, we are using the equation to find the height of the female whose radius is 25 centimeters long. So we are going to use the equation that we did, change the r, which is x, for 25, let your calculator do the work. Since all the height is in centimeters, numbers like this, convert it from fraction to decimals. It should tell you how many decimal places it wants. Now, if, let's say, in a test you did the previous question, you're not sure whether you got the correct answer, use that equation anyways, because if you got the previous equation wrong, we are testing your ability to substitute the numbers in. If you got the previous question wrong, you might still get this one correct using the wrong equation. Okay, lastly, radius is 27 centimeters in length. Use the line of best fit to predict the height of the female. So I've extended the line here. Previously we had to find or use the equation. Now we're using the line of best fit. So previously, I think we did 25. So that's within the data set. So that's interpolation. 27 centimeters is outside the data set. So it's extrapolation. So 27 centimeters, we find the line, 183 centimeters. Next one, data involving time. Data involving time is pretty much a line graph. The main different thing is the independent variable is time, might be in years, hours, minutes, whatever. Main difference being you can't have 2 values on the same independent variable. So previously when we did height, you could have the 2 same people with the same height that had different weights. Here you can't have 2 different fatalities in the same year. So there's only going to be one per variable. So line graph, so you have to join up the dots, and that's pretty much it. Now the other questions they'll ask is, they'll try to ask you why it increased, why it decreased, and so on. So for example, let's say, why did it increase between the 1950s and the 1970s? Your answer could be, there might be more cars on the road. If they ask you why it decreased from here to here, you can say, perhaps there were better, safer cars, or there were safety campaigns, all sorts of stuff. When you answer these questions, make sure it's simple. Don't write an essay. Just simple, one sentence, maybe two sentence answers. And that's it. All right, thanks guys, and good luck.